tuning in to another episode of Business Spotlight. My name is Martinique Brown, and I am your host today. I am so excited that you guys are watching right now. Before we get started, I just want to let you guys know, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Martinique the Storyteller. If you're watching this on YouTube, I need you to click that subscription button. I know you see the one right there on the upper right hand side, the red button that says subscribe. Also, make sure that if we're not friends on Facebook, make sure you send me a friend request so you can always be notified when I have special guests, when I post new shows. Don't you always want to be notified? I know you do. I'm so excited today because I have Latifah here. Latifah is a life and relationship coach. I know you're excited because I know we all need a person in our life to help us stay balanced. So she is a life and relationship coach at Powerful Choices Now. And if you guys have any questions, make sure that you go ahead and type your questions in so we can have a great discussion because she is a resource of knowledge. Just wait until you hear more about her story and how she became a relationship and life coach. Latifah, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, Martinique. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm glad you're here. So let's go ahead and get started. I would like to know, how did you become a relationship and life coach?
Well, I started out with being a domestic violence survivor. I call it a victorious survivor. In 2005, I broke the cycle of abuse. I wrote my first book in 2006. And 2007, I started Healthy Positive Choices. We do relationship or we abuse awareness. We educate, and we also have luncheons, and we do scholarships. So at that point, I realized that I did not no longer want to be a victim. And like I said, I broke that cycle. And then after many years of working with domestic violence, I said, let me take this up a notch, because once a person gets out of abusive relationships, they want to form what? Positive relationships. So what better way to be a relationship and a life coach to help them on their way to having healthy relationships?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it basically got started with um, through Healthy Positive Choices, the relationship and life coaching.
So I know that when we were talking beforehand, when I was just getting to know you a little bit better, you were telling me that you've been out of an abusive relationship for over 10 years. How did you get
Yes.
into that mindset of no longer going back to those relationships? Because if you're saying that you used to be in, and it was multiple relationships, so if you just kept going back to the same type of relationship over and over, when did you have your wake up call that, this is not the life that I want, this is not what's healthy for me?
Yes. Well, I had come to the conclusion that I was the common denominator in all of the abusive relationships. When you come to that point, then you realize that it's inside of me and not on the outside of me. Once you change the inside, then the outside becomes better. Example, one time I was at it was a seminar on domestic abuse. And I noticed when I sat there, I could not just sit there. I kept squirming in my seat. And I was like, what is wrong? So it was something that I never faced before, never faced domestic abuse. I was like, yeah, but I really didn't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that point, I started looking into it, doing research on it. And when I got out of my marriage in 2005, I decided to work on me.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I was a common denominator. So the first thing I had to do, Martinique, was I had to admit that I was abused. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, I had to seek help. Yes, I sought help from a therapist. So that
Okay.
was the next thing I had to do. Then I had to go on from there and make a choice not to be a victim any longer. You make a
Mm-hmm.
choice not to be a victim and not to be abused. And then I took responsibility for my part in the abuse. And I honestly believe that everybody plays a part. I realized that I played a part. If you stay, if you go, if whatever you do, there's a part, because an abuser cannot abuse unless he has what? Somebody there to abuse.
That's good.
So you play a part in the abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And then getting out of that, then I had to choose for myself. I will no longer
Mm.
be a victim of domestic abuse.
How did you develop that support system? Because it's very difficult to be in a relationship with someone and then, especially if you're always with that person, and then to totally be clear of that person. And you really had that alone time. But how did you develop that support system around you to really just help you stay out of those type of relationships?
Well, it's a process, Martinique. When you make up in your mind that this is something that you want to do or you want to get out of, sometimes women have children. They
Mm-hmm.
can't just jump and go right away. So they
Yeah.
have to get a plan. I tell women, get a plan.
Okay.
Get your mind focused on what you want to do in that plan. And then
Mm-hmm.
over time you build that up. You build a monetary
Mm-hmm.
system. You have a friend, you have someone on speed dial that you
Mm-hmm.
can always, if you need to call. You keep a bag packed that
A what?
that
Say
will
that.
make
Say
you
that
a
again. A
bag.
bad.
Keep a bag packed in case you need to go out really quick. And you keep some extra monetary, some monies somewhere. Give
Okay.
it to someone. You always have some kind of plan just in case you need to move in a hurry out of
Mm,
somewhere.
that's
you know
good.
Keep
Yeah.
someone on speed dial. Someone that will always be there, so you build that up over time. It's not
Mm-hmm.
something that happens overnight. Sometimes people have to flee right away.
Yeah.
Sometimes people can plan their escape. Depends on the situation, because I know people have children. So
Yeah.
it's not so easy. It's not that cut and dry to just get up and run. But you
Mm-hmm.
can do it. You can be free.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that is just some really good um, information because, you know, recently in the news, and not saying like this month or anything, but it was like we heard a stream of women being abused by their husbands, especially like
Yes.
professional athletes, and then them going back to their husband. Can you just explain like how difficult it is to leave an abusive relationship?
Well, first of all, I think people stay for a variety of reasons. Let's just
Mm-hmm.
talk about that really quick. People stay because they don't want to be embarrassed. People stay because of the monies, because of the material wealth. People stay because they're used to having that partnership with
Yeah.
couples. They're having a couple partnership. They don't want to lose that. They don't want to be the person that's left out there. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a variety of reasons. Some of them are just afraid for their lives.
Yeah.
So we have to look at the reasons why people stay. And and the reasons why they stay, people have a variety of reasons. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to come to grips on, why am I staying? What
That's
am
true.
I getting out of this? Everybody's going to get something. If you stay, it's meeting a need. You can say whatever you want to. There's some kind of need being met. And once that need is met, then you will decide, okay, I need to go. Some women stay, they said, oh, no one else will ever want me. I
Mm-hmm.
can't go anywhere. I don't have any skills. I don't
Yeah.
have I don't have anything. This man takes total care of me.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are that learned helplessness. People do all kind of things for a variety of reasons. I learned that as I talk to various women.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they will stay until they get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you have to get to that point. Until
Mm-hmm.
you get that to that point, you will continue to justify what is happening to you. You will
That's
just
right.
continue over and over. What is the saying? That if you keep doing the same thing, expecting different results, that's the definition of insanity.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people that do that. They
Yeah.
keep hoping and praying that that person will change because they feel like I love this person. But only the victim and the abuser, the only person they can change is themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Can't change anyone else. You can't, no matter how much you love a person, they have to want it inside of themselves.
So I know we're talking a lot about women being abused, but many times there's men that's also abused. Do you ever have men come to your session specifically on um, just that needing those life coaching skills or um, those relationship skills? Because I know many times we just see it as a woman being abused, but there's men that's abused also.
Yes, yes, you're right. And I have talked to several men that have been abused.
Mm-hmm.
And usually when a woman abuses a man, a lot of times it's more emotional abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are physical, don't get me wrong, because there's a variety of abuse. Let me just name some of them. You have emotional, physical, social, financial,
Mm-hmm.
you have cyber abuse,
Yeah.
religion abuse. So these are all abusive. And sometimes women have a tendency to be more emotional abusive to a man, telling
Mm-hmm.
him he's never going to amount to anything, he's not anything, just pulling him down to almost nothing.
Yeah.
So that is one of the main things in my studies, saying that women, this is the one that's on the totem, at the top of the totem pole, is
Mm-hmm.
emotional abuse for women to men. And there's some women that do physically abuse a man as well. And
Mm-hmm.
in this society, it says that if you're not being physically abused, then there's no abuse.
Yeah.
And that could be so far from the truth. And that's what I learned. I had to
Mm-hmm.
learn the different forms of abuse because physical is something that you can see. And so everyone, oh, physical, physical. But I'm telling you, emotional abuse can be so much worse. It's
Yeah.
like you're in prison,
Yeah.
you
And
know?
I think that many times we say, "Oh, I don't need a coach." But Latifah, can you just explain to the viewers what are some of the things that a coach does and what are some of the things that a coach does not do?
Well, a coach, it's not based on any medical model. A coach is someone that helps you to meet your goals, to meet things that you want within yourself. See, when it comes to coaching, it's all about you. It's not
Mm-hmm.
about me. It's all about you. So for that time that you have a coach, we are concentrating solely on you and meeting your needs.
Right.
Those are some of the things. I mean, if you want to, it depends on what you want. You come, I ask the questions, you do the work, you put the work in. If
Mm-hmm.
you're not wanting to put the work in, then there's nothing to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I do as a coach is I ask the pertinent questions. If I am a professional and I ask the pertinent questions, and then makes you think, make your mind just like go round and round. Oh, what do I really want?
Mm-hmm.
How did that make you feel? So I ask the pertinent questions. We're not doctors. We're not therapists. We're not telling you what to do. I had someone come to me one time and she said, well, you're supposed to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
That is not what we do as
Uh-huh.
coaches.
Uh-huh.
We do not tell you what to do. We talk to you. We help you to broaden your perspective, to open up, to see those things that are very deep that you did not know that exist,
That's
to
good.
pull them out of you. so that you can begin to work on what it is that you want for
Yeah.
yourself. Only you know that. So
Yeah.
this is what we do. We're not medical doctors. We're not therapists. We're not going to tell you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to help you be the best you that you can be.
Yeah, and I think that that's so important, because it sounds like you really personalize the sessions based off of that individual or those couples that come and see you. And guys, I just want to just reiterate, you see that Latifah, she knows her stuff, she's been through it. And so I think that is so important, to have somebody in your life, these type of coaches that has been through sometimes the same situations that you've been in, to recognize different things within you. Make sure her information is in the description box. If you really like what you hear, make sure you visit her website that's in the description box. You can also email her, which her email address is also in the description box. If you can just tell me, just what are some of the techniques that you do use in order to help strengthen relationships in some of your sessions?
Well, I like to use what we call the 5 love languages. I don't know if you've heard that by Gary Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
And I use a quiz, and there was a quiz that I used. First, I like to have the couples to see how well they know each other,
Mm-hmm.
depending on what they want to do. And
Yeah.
then as they do that, then we do the love languages. Do you know your husband's love language? Do you know your wife's love language?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who this person is that you're married to or you're in a relationship with?
Mm-hmm.
And so we go from there. It depends, because some couples may have various things that they are coming for. They
Yeah.
may say, okay, well, we want to have better communication skills. So I ask the pertinent questions to talk about communication skills. Well, we're fighting all the time. How do we listen to each other? So we
Mm-hmm.
talk about different listening skills. So there are things that we talk about that I put out there, but it's up to the individual to decide if they want to do that or not.
Yeah.
Sometimes I also use it's a self-talk guide that I have, and because I'm also a self-talk trainer. So I have some downloads that I give the couples that I feel like, okay, this would help with this, or this would help with that.
Yeah.
And then they listen to those downloads. So that's some of the techniques that I use: the love languages, the questionnaires.
Mm-hmm.
I give the downloads, and we just really just try to get to know, or they try to get to know who they are and what they want, what each person wants. And they may find that they want the same things or they want different things. It just depends. Sometimes people get married and they don't really know who that person is, even what they're looking for. They're just like, oh, you're nice, I'm nice, let's get married. No,
Yeah.
there's a lot of different things that people do. I
Yeah.
mean, that they need to understand. So if someone comes and say, well, yeah, we would like to get married. All right, so what are some of the values? What are some of the goals that you have? Are you on the same page? You may
Mm-hmm.
not even be on the same page. So asking the pertinent questions so that the couples will know, okay, yeah, we like this or we don't like this. Or they may realize that, wow, they're more alike than they thought, or they're more different than they thought.
Yeah. And
So,
I think one of
like it's all in.
Yeah, and I
Mhm.
think one of the cool things about your sessions is that although you're in Texas, you are able to do your coaching sessions regardless of where the individual lives, because you do this. You have the capabilities of doing your sessions through video chat, just like how you guys are
Yes.
seeing right now. She's able to offer her sessions, like I said, through video chat, which is so great because you're not limited just to the coaches that's in your particular city. So, what do you feel like is the benefit of having a relationship or a life coach?
Well, I think it gives you, as an individual, it helps to have more directives,
Mm-hmm.
um, more guidance. into what you, like I said, it's all about you as an individual or a couple. And what do you want? What are some of the goals that you're trying to get to? Because when you first come, you fill out a questionnaire from me. I need to ask you things about yourself because I would like to know where you want to go.
Yeah.
And and you want to reach those goals. We're standing here, but you want to get over here. And how long will it take you? Some people have a coach. I like to say 6 months is a minimum because I think it just takes time to get to where you want to go. There's homework that you may have, and homework in the sense of I may ask you, okay, would you like to do this, this, and this? Or I may say, try this and see how this works. And then we'll talk about it the next week and see how that worked for you. So it just depends.
Yeah.
But it can be so helpful. And online coaching is really very great. We can do, as you said, video chat, and we can also do Zoom. So we can do just like we're doing here, we can do Zoom. And it's just like you're talking to the person it's like they're standing next to you.
Right.
So there's ways that we can do this and make it great for everyone.
Correct. So what type of person or couples do you recommend gets a life or relationship coach?
Well, I think some couples that maybe they may be stuck. They want to move forward, but they may be stuck and they can't get out of their own way. Sometimes you need someone to help you to get out of your own way. Sometimes you're just standing in your way. And for couples that are at a certain point and they want to go further, they see that, okay, they want to be on the same page and they want to move further in the relationship. Right. And some people are just like, stuck. Some of them, they feel like they're going in different directions and they want to come back to the same, to get on the same road together. So it would just depends on what their needs are. Because again, as a coach, I'm here to service you and your needs, help you meet the needs that you want. Right. It's not about me, it's solely about you.
Yeah, and I think that one thing that you guys want to realize, although we have been talking about spouses, Latifah is also available for individuals that's, just doing girlfriend, boyfriend relationship. Maybe you think that this person is the one for you, but you want to have that mediator or that in-between person to really just help you guys see if you are really compatible or if there's more work that you guys need to do before you do take that next step of getting married. So I know that Latifah, you're running a special for individuals that's watching the program today, and you're saying that you are going to offer them 1 free hour session, coaching session. So y'all don't turn it up. Don't pass this by. Do you hear what I'm saying? So what you have to do is visit her website, and her website is listed in the description box. Make sure you visit her website so you can get that free session. Also, if you're interested in that free 1 hour session, make sure you send her an email. So some of you guys have heard a lot from Latifah, and you might be saying to yourself, okay, how much does Latifah charge? So you can find all of that information actually on her website. Latifah, I really just appreciate you for being on the show today. You have just really given us a better understanding of what a life coach does, also what a relationship coach does, and how it's beneficial to our own lives. And, sometimes we don't think we need something until somebody points it out to us that, okay, well, maybe I do need a checkup. I mean, we always get our cars maintained, so it's nothing wrong with taking an assessment of your own life to really just make sure you stay in balance with everything that's going on. Yeah. And so, Latifah, I truly do appreciate you for taking time out your busy schedule just to speak some knowledge to us. Again, make sure you visit her website so you can learn more about Latifah and all of the services that she offers. I always say this, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if we're not friends on Facebook, make sure that you send me a friend request. Also, Latifah's fan page is in the description box. So don't pass that by because she has different events that goes on. And if you click on, if you go to her fan page, then let me see what your fan page is Powerful Choices, comma, now. Make sure you go to that on make sure you go to that on Facebook. And if you click like, then you'll always be notified of when Latifah is, whatever she's doing, any post she has, any words of wisdom that she shares, because she does do regular postings as well. So Latifah, again,
Can I just say one more thing?
you sure
Just one thing, that this Saturday we're doing healthy, positive choices. We're having a luncheon, and I'm going to be speaking on domestic violence awareness because this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And so if you can go on the page, it has the flyer, so it'll give you all the information if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Okay. And so you want them to go to your Facebook page, correct? To see the flyer?
Yes.
Okay. So guys, y'all heard her, right? She said go to her Facebook page. So
and get that information.
Get that information. So you guys, I always thank you guys for just taking time out your busy schedule to just tune in to my shows. I really do appreciate you all. Miss Latifah, I also thank you for taking time again for being on the show. If you could just say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you.